Hey guys, how's it going? It's Carter Wajenko here from the Tackle Box. Today I'm going to be doing an in-depth tackle breakdown of what you need to catch fish in the summer on the Mississippi River. Let's get started. So today I wanted to talk about a couple different baits that I love using on the Mississippi River. Has to be my favorite fishery that I've been to. I fished all the way down to Pool 19, which I would consider the last fishable pool, or good pool for bass fishing. And then you get all the way up to, I've been up to 7, but there's pretty good fishing all the way up until pools 1 and 2. So just gonna be breaking down what I like to use tackle wise on the river in the summer. So a lot of these pools are primarily largemouth. So Mississippi River has current, obviously it's a river. Gonna put these largemouth in a lot of the shallow areas during the summer. So gonna be lots of vegetation in most of the pools that you're gonna fish. So there's gonna be a couple different types of grass growing in the Mississippi River. Duckweed, lily pads, eelgrass are all really big on the river. You know, there's a mixed bag of smallmouth and largemouth. Most of the time, in the summer, most tournaments are going to be one fishing for largemouth, but smallmouth, you know, there are a couple certain conditions where you can catch smallmouth and do really well in smallmouth. But starting on largemouth, so we're fishing a lot of grass, lots of shallow water for these largemouth, and personally, my favorite way to target them is with the swim jig. Right here, we got a Bait Buffet SJ jig. So the reason I like this jig, just has a super stout hook. As you guys can see, it's a 4-aught Gamakatsu heavy wire hook built around a really nice head. Perfect weed guard, so it's not too stiff. Really, my favorite rod to throw this on is Dobyns Champion 735. Did a review on that a while back, but it's definitely one of my favorite rods to throw this on. And then the trailer is really key when I'm fishing this bait. There's a couple different ways I like to fish this. So waking it at the surface is a great way to get bit, especially when you're in low light conditions. And then when those fish are a little bit more lethargic, I like to creep this bait through eelgrass. You got lots of eelgrass flats, as well as eelgrass lines, where that current actually separates and there's a hard edge on that eelgrass. Those fish love to set up on there, and a swim jig is probably one of the best ways to catch them doing that. You know, I love to get the 1/4 ounce version of this SJ jig and just creep it along those eelgrass lines and pop it through the eelgrass. Gets a great reaction bite, and it's super natural, paired with, usually when I'm creeping it, I'll go with the small paddle tail swim bait. Right here I got an Easy Shiner. The Reaction Innovations Skinny Dipper is an awesome one as well, or I believe it's called the Little Dipper actually. And then I'll also pair it with a BizBaits Cutter Craw. When I like to wake it more towards the surface, that Cutter Craw has 2 claws, so it'll give it a little bit more lift in the water. But overall, very versatile bait. I can work this over the tops and mats as well, and then, you know, get it right under that duckweed or work it around those lily pads. Perfect imitation of a bluegill. Another great thing about this Bait Buffet SJ jig is it's offered in a ton of awesome colors. This color right here, actually last spring, it broke my PB on this one, so I believe it was 6.5 pounds. This color is called Camo. It's a great bluegill imitation, and I usually like to pair these with a darker color trailer. So black and blue, straight black, June bug. If you're in a little bit cleaner water, you can go straight green pumpkins, which is another great option. You know, when you get that high sun and those fish start really getting in the grass and they're not eating the swim jig, what I like to pick up is a BizBaits Sassy Stick. So BizBaits Sassy Stick, 4 inches long stick bait, and I love throwing it in pretty much any darker color. You know, this water clarity is sort of tannic, lots of iron in the water, so almost looks like an orange water clarity, especially up in those northern pools. Once you get down to the Pool 13, Pool 14, all the way down to 19, it's not so much like that, but in a lot of those northern pools, you're gonna have that orange water, and you're really gonna wanna focus in on those darker colors. So right here I got black and red flake. Black and blue flake is a great color, as well as June bug. And what's really key here is the hook I like to throw it on. So this has quickly become one of my favorite hooks to throw Senko on. Right here we got the Owner Twist Lock flipping hook. So I'm personally not a fan of throwing EWGs around grass. I think flipping hooks can seal the hook a lot better than EWGs. Better hookup ratio as well, and it's a very stout hook, as you guys can see, and it has a screw lock feature, so very easy to switch out those baits when you need to. And I do like to upsize it to a larger screw lock. Just extends the life, in my opinion, of that Senko just a little bit. But I like to pitch this around clumps. You got a lot of log jams on the Mississippi River, and a Senko is a great way to pick those apart. Throw it usually on a lighter weight. I like to use lighter weights on the river, 3/16, a quarter, eighth. You know, I really just like to have a lighter weight because it gives it a more natural presentation when you're throwing it in the current. And then another very obvious bait when those fish are in the high sun and they're getting under those mats is a frog. So right here we got a Jackal Kiera. It's a great frog. As you guys can see, this one is pretty beaten up. Overall, great frog, very compact profile, and it's ½ ounce. So you're gonna be able to cast this frog really far. And what I love about it is the compact profile. So a lot of these river fish, big shoulders, not very big mouths, and their accuracy is not that good. So having a little bit smaller target, in my opinion, gives it a better chance for them to inhale that bait and get it all the way. And it does have a great hookup ratio. As you guys can see, that frog body folds right over. So great hookup ratio, awesome frog. And then when you guys are doing a little bit more searching, another great bait is the BizBaits Pad Daddy. This is an amazing bait to cover water. Comes through the grass, awesome. A lot of guys love throwing a buzz bait, but I just like this Pad Daddy just a little bit more because you can get it through the grass and fish it through the grass a lot better. You are gonna have to have a special hook for this. I throw it on a ribbit, the Ribbit Toad double take hook, 4/0. So it's a great hook to throw this on, and comes through the grass amazing. Very nice subtle kicking action through the water and catches a lot of big fish. When you start to get cloud cover and those fish are starting to move a little bit off the grass, starting to roam around a little bit more, right here, Z-Man Jackhammer is a great bait to find those fish when they're out roaming a little bit more, just straight green pumpkin. I love to pair them with any fluke style trailer. So in my opinion, trailers like Kitex and paddle tail swim baits are not going to be a good trailer for the Jackhammer, just because I feel like it affects the vibration of that bait and action in the water. You know, you already have this blade thumping up in the front, and having a fluke on the back just gives it that subtle kicking action in the water, and in my opinion, it's a lot more natural profile. So I do love the Z-Man Jackhammer. Great bait for when you got a little bit of cloud cover. And then there are a couple of riprap banks on the Mississippi River in colder water. They're going to be great for largemouth, but smallmouth in the summer love setting up on those current seams, on rock current seams, and they love to stay by hard targets. And one of the best ways to target them is with a small finesse bait like this BizBaits Ned Dizzy. So I'll actually rig this on a shaky head. This is the Owner Twist Lock shaky head. So the Owner Twist Lock head right here, great head, and conceals that hook really well. Summer Craw is one of the best colors to catch for those river smallmouth. Got a little bit of chartreuse on the bottom, so it's gonna stand out in that muddy water. And for some reason, those smallmouth love chartreuse, so definitely a great color. You guys gonna wanna check that out on bizbaits.com. But all the links to the baits that I just mentioned are going to be down in the bio, so if you guys are wanting to check those out, definitely check them out down below. And that's a little breakdown of what you guys need to catch fish in the summer on the Mississippi River, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Tackle Box. Thank you.